Hey guys, I'm Classic, and today joining me is Yell, and it's Silky Saturday. So today we're talking the HTC Vive.
Classic, you had your hands on the Vive not too long ago, didn't you?
Yeah, actually, I played a few times. I don't personally own one. One of my buddies does, and I've been over there for a few hours, getting my hands on the Vive and getting, an experience with it.
Vive is $799. That's not cheap.
That's a pretty penny right there, definitely. And the graphics card you need to run the Vive is just as much. You need at least a 980 NVIDIA GTX 980 to be able to support the HTC or any VR headsets that are currently out on the market, from my understanding.
And get a reasonably decent experience with it.
Yeah, so the HTC Vive comes with quite a handful of items. It has the headset, the actual thing that goes on your head. It has two hand controllers that, obviously go into your hands. It has two base stations that go up on the walls to track your motion. And it also has earbuds, of course, that go in your ears so you can hear the amazing sounds coming out of the device. So, who is the HTC Vive for? That's a pretty big question right now, because since the technology is so new, people aren't really familiar, of course, with it and don't know if they should buy it or not.
Yeah, I'm still on the fence with it myself.
Yeah, personally, if I would not have actually tried out the HTC Vive, I probably would be the same way. With the price point, it doesn't seem something, unless you're just one of those people that have to be at the forefront of the new cutting edge technology, which I try to be if I can afford it. This just happens to be something that I cannot afford right now. I would definitely get it. Definitely after playing it, my experience with it is, I loved it. It was a freaking amazing experience. Almost.
How real was it when you put on the helmet or on the headset and started playing a game? How real was it compared to real life?
Honestly, it was pretty realistic. Of course, it has to depend on the graphics and whatnot, but when you put it on, the perspective you get from looking through the headset, it feels like you're actually looking, at anything in the real world. The only thing is that your field of vision is not as wide. Like, you have about 180. Like, you can almost see 180. I think it's not fully 180 degree range that we can see, but it's close. This, I don't know actually what the specs are. I believe it's like 120, 130 degree range. But it's almost not that noticeable while playing. The other thing is when you get too into the game. This is something that happened to me when I was playing Fire Hunter and on like a space dock, looking out into space, and there's these little drones coming at you, and you have to shoot at them and have to dodge. I was at my buddy's house, and I backed into some equipment on the ground that was behind me all the way. It was pushed up all the way against the wall, but I was so immersed in the game that I forgot that I couldn't keep going back, that there was a wall there, and I had to stop. And I tripped over the stuff, and it was a big old fun mess.
What all games did you play while you were there?
There's a pretty good bit of games for how new it is out. One of my favorites has to be ZenBlade. It's a Fruit Ninja type of game where you have one controller that's your sword, and you have to cut fruit, and that scores up. Of course, they have like a survival mode, a time attack mode, and a puzzle mode that just got added recently, where you have to try to slice the fruit in a certain pattern. Another cool thing about it is like the blade for the game is almost like a realistic blade. You can't just cut where you can't do like you can on Fruit Ninja and cut. If you don't cut perfectly, it will bounce off the blade. So you can actually bounce the fruits on the back of the blade or bounce the bombs off and stuff.
Pretty cool.
So I'd sit there and I'd be cutting at it and just pop the bombs off to the side. As long as you don't hit them too hard, they'll just bounce. If you hit it too hard, they'll blow up in your face. Okay. So that was pretty cool. Another game that was, it's not really a game, it's just kind of an experience, is it's called Tilt Brush, and it's by Google, and it's pretty much a 3D canvas for drawing and expressing your creative side, and being able to walk around and see that it's pretty amazing. I didn't actually personally get to play that one. I watched Taylor play it, but just watching it, I wanted to play it. Another one that I got to play was The Lab, and this is by Valve. So this game is probably one of the best, I think, just because it's by Steam. Pretty much it's a bunch of mini games inside of a game. You go into the lab and you can pick up a few different orbs that will port you into different like things. They have one that's like a solar system. You go into it and you can actually like walk around and grab the planets and like sling them across. I tried to put my head in the sun. Definitely not something you should probably try to do. It was very bright. I didn't think it was, I thought it was gonna be like a hollow shell. They actually put light inside of it. I was...
Attention to detail.
Yeah, I was, with it being right on my eyes, I was like, oh, shit, that's bright. They have another one that's like an archery. You go in, you use one controller to hold the bow and you use the other one to pull back. That one is probably one of my favorites. Like they have a little bit of vibration in the controller to simulate the tension and the cracking. They have the sound of the cracking of the bow. The velocity at which the arrows shoot seem pretty realistic. I've never shot a bow before, but from just watching other people, you know, videos, yada yada, I feel like they got it pretty damn close. There's another game that I played that was like an RPG type game. I can't actually remember the name of it. They had a bow in that game, and they definitely didn't do it as well as Valve did in theirs. So that's definitely something. There's a lot more games. I could sit here and talk about all the games I played. The main thing is motion sickness.
Oh,
motion sickness happens. The way they got around the main thing behind motion sickness is when you're in a game, you use a button to teleport around. It's not the best, but it works. And I was kind of disappointed at first when I first picked it up and started playing it because of this. But then I played Project Cars. My buddy has the wheel and everything, and super excited about it. It's going to be super immersive. Get to drive, have the headset on, and I can go be a Formula One racer, right? Got in there, started playing. I have the headset on, I'm driving, and freaking motion sickness hits me.
Oh.
When you start hitting a turn and you don't feel that G-force on your body happening, it's just like, what's going on? Why? And
it feels weird and out of place.
Yeah, it started making me sick. I don't get motion sickness. I never understood other people that got motion sickness until I played this. Definitely reversing, like trying to reverse was super painful. I actually had to get up out of I had to take the headset off, get out of this chair, and go lay down on the floor for a good 10 minutes.
Oh wow!
To stop feeling nauseous. So that was something that was.
So games where you're doing a lot of moving, can possibly give you some motion sickness while you're playing.
Definitely. That's why they did that teleporting system. If it's like just straight continuous motion and you're not physically moving your own body, it gives you the sickness. That's so as long as you have that box that you can walk around in and you're up and moving, I didn't get any motion sickness then because, you know, I still have at least gravity and everything happening, so it feels realistic. I never tried to play a game where you move continuously, like walking around, like you know, we'll just say Fallout or Minecraft or something like that, where you're in first-person view and you're just walking around. But the buddy that actually owns the device said that he tried that initially back on the Oculus, because he had the dev kit for the Oculus, and it's they did the same thing. It made him sick. So, so last but not least, who should buy it?
I mean, obviously someone with a lot of money, right?
Yeah, a lot of money, extra time on your hands, of course, to just get the full experience, and I'd say play it, get the money, really get the value that you spent out of it.
Maybe if you have a large open space to use it in.
Definitely a large open space. I suggest having a almost like a bedroom or a large living room that you can move stuff out of to be able to fully walk around and not have to worry about tripping over things. We were in a room that pretty much only had the computer and a TV, and it was set up like on the floor as far back as possible, which eventually I think he's going to mount it to get it off the floor. But it's new and he hasn't gotten that point. But and what I was talking about is I backed up into like a joystick that was on that floor when I was playing that one game when I got too immersed into it and didn't like watch my surroundings. So I would say time, if you have the time, of course the money, because you're going to have a decent graphics card if you don't already have one, and then you're going to have to buy the headset. But other than that, if you're really not into the experience or trying to be on the cutting edge, I would say wait, try somebody else's out if you have the chance, which I know not many people have them. But if you are able to do it, try it out, see how you like it, and then make that decision. Because it's awesome. Don't get me wrong. It's fucking amazing. But for the price point, it's hard to say that it's something that I would buy now for everyday gaming, because there's only a select few games that work on the device. And then even those, you have to have that space. You have to have, of course, the time and money to set it up, etc. So pretty much, if you just have a bunch of free money and free time on your hands, go for it. Definitely go for it.
Yeah, talking about like a minimum of $1,500 investment here.
Yeah, if you don't already have a graphics card. Most people probably might already have a graphics card. I personally don't. So if I wanted to upgrade to do it, I'd have to buy a 980, and then I would have to buy, well, I say a 980, but a graphics card that's more powerful than a 980, and then I'd have to buy the headset itself. So it's definitely a quite costly investment, but the technology is fucking amazing. Once they figure
worth it.
Do what?
Can be worth it.
Oh yeah. Once they figure out how to get rid of that motion sickness, it would be perfect. I know it has something to do apparently with like your inner ear balance, and that's why it's not, or that's why you get the motion sickness, you know, because obviously your body doesn't feel the motion. So I'm thinking they're trying to do something to be able to simulate the motions, but not actually have to move to get it. I have no fucking clue how they're gonna be able to do that. You know, I'm not a scientist, but if they ever figure it out, it's gonna be some dot hack shit going on. That's because that's really what I wanted, man. Fucking when I was a kid watching Dot Hack Sci, and they're sitting there with their little VR headsets on playing the game, I was like, I want that. I motherfucking want that right now, right now.
I wonder if those pills you take for seasickness would help with the motion sickness.
I wonder. I don't know, because like people get motion sickness because of like the moving. I don't get motion sickness on a boat or anything, so I don't understand how it would correlate to motion sickness that you get from not moving. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, you're seeing it move, but pretty much it's just your brain fucking with you. Or, you know, I, again, not a scientist, don't know the actual specification, but that's what I assume. It's just that, you know, your brain's like, hey, this should be happening, but it's not. So I'm gonna freak out now and make you not feel good. That's about it on the HTC Vive, guys. Like I said, if you guys have the money, go out there, grab it, and enjoy the shit out of it. I wish I could. I'm definitely been over at my buddy's house the past 2 weekends, and I probably will be there maybe this weekend again, if he allows me to get some more hands-on experience with it. Hell, sounds like someone's about to blow the fuck up. Why does that thing have not blown up yet? Okay, there it goes. Surprised that bomb isn't still gonna blow up. Strong hurting. No. Did I hurt Strong? Ow. 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 He hurt me. Get him, Strong. Kick his ass.